All right, welcome back to the shipyard under the heading of Brush Up Your Game. We are looking at the Secrets of the Tall Shiar faction pack. Romulan goodness. Ellis, brace yourself and by all means, please record a reaction video to this. I would love to see that. All right, I'm excited for Romulans. Jerry, as always, here to help me with the big reviews. Jerry, are you excited for some Romulan stuff?
I'm excited to see the secrets that the Talshar are holding from us.
Ooh, I am too. All right, let's jump in. We get the Riemann Warbird, the Scimitar herself. Now, this is one we've pretty much seen in the previews, but the 6274 stat line, 34 points, double crew, double tech, and a weapon. When attacking, if this ship is cloaked, place an Ox power token beside the ship. Do not flip your cloak token to its red side. Solid ability. Nice to have it. And what? Tiny bit of a discount, right?
4
15,
points. Yep.
4 point discount.
It's the original text just with the new text flavoring.
Yep. Um,
But I mean, perfect.
perfect discount for a completely different environment. What's not to like?
Yep. Exactly.
And that means that a generic Riemann Warbird at 6273 is 32 points. That's the big takeaway here. 32-point Riemann Warbird.
Yep.
Boy, that's a 4 point discount. That just means you can fit in 18 points of upgrades, and that is scarier than it should be.
Yeah.
Much.
The slot layout is a little different from the original Riemann Warbird. I think the original one had maybe 2 weapon slots.
It was crew double weapon tech.
Yeah.
So this is even better, unless you don't want it to be this way.
But the original one's now discounted too, officially.
Exactly. So
Cost.
you can run either upgrade, either slot loadout you want for 32 points. So, again, I think that's fantastic, and that's a great way to kick this off.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Riemann Warbird, all here for it. You know, Secrets of the Tall Shiar, it fits. Because the Tall Shiar had the plot with Shinzon, the discarded plot. So it all fits into the theme.
It does indeed. All right, now our Dideritics. Now I'm going to go a little out of order here and look at the IRW Belloc. This one is near and dear to my heart because I was the one who got to preview this way back in the day. This is a booster ship, and I believe it has the exact same wording. But the one we get, when defending, you may reroll one of your defense dice. If this ship is cloaked, you may reroll any of your defense dice. And I'm looking, and in fact, it is better than what we got in the booster. Because the booster was, when defending, you may reroll one of your battle station results. If cloaked, you may reroll all of your battle station results.
And 3 point discount from the old one.
And a 3 point discount. So they upgraded it and made it significantly better. I like that. I liked the Belloc as a Dideritics. I thought it was a very good ship. This is an even better ability. It's not going to win you the game, but it's certainly going to keep you around. Very defensive thing. 6 dice here while cloaked, and you get a free reroll. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Our new Dideritics is Twilights Wrath. That's just a cool name.
Yes.
Now, it jumps up a point to 28 points. Goes double crew, double weapon tech. After an opposing ship within range 1 to 3 performs an action, if this ship is cloaked, you may perform an additional sensor echo action as a free action this round, or place a battle station token beside this ship. If that ship is a Dominion ship, you may do both. Seems really good to me.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. There's,
That is a really good warbird. That is a really good ability. Even if there isn't a Dominion ship on the other side, um, it's all. I think it's perfectly tuned to what the Romulans do.
it is, and
Um,
and we'll see later that there's a tech that makes this even better.
yeah. So the name Twilight's Wrath, um, in my sleuthing, is
Ooh.
actually I read this story when the book came out, but it is from the book called Tales of the Dominion War, and the Wrath is the name of the short story,
Okay.
and it was about Shinzan's time um, with the Reman kind of brigade fighting for the Romulans in the Dominion War.
Okay.
So that's kind of where the Dominion faction targeting comes from on this, but it's a really good story.
That makes sense.
Kind of fills in his backstory a little bit more.
Yeah. Our generic Dideradix, pretty much the same that we've seen. Double crew, weapon tech, 25 points. Not a lot to be excited about or be upset about. Just kind of is what it is.
Yes.
All right. Scout vessel. We get the tall Shiar scout. Throwback to the octahedron, octahedron, and I forget the other pronunciation of it, the other spelling of it, but it slipped through there. Tall Shiar is Shiar. Gotta call him out on it.
Yeah, you do.
Aside from that, combat phase. Target an opposing ship and a friendly ship, each within range 1 to 2. You may discard a battle station, evade, or scan token beside the target opposing ship, then place a token of the same type beside the target friendly ship. That seems fun. Seems
Great
limited in
support.
use, but seems fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great support ship
Yeah,
if you're playing against a fleet that's token heavy. You know, it's a way for you to get a battle station onto a cloaked Romulan ship
it is.
by stealing someone else's.
Yeah. Oh, you needed this? No, sorry, it's mine.
Right. As for the typo in the name, I guess the silver lining here is if WizKids ever does another Romulan faction pack, we could get an actual Tall Shiar scout, and then we'll have the Tall Shiar and the Tall Share.
Yeah. Somehow I feel like they'd errata this, but
that might be asking too much.
anyway, you know what? This is a fun little way of stealing tokens.
Yeah.
It makes for nice things with swarms. This is your ship you're gonna want to cloak and leave cloaked.
Yep.
And that's just how it's gonna work. So I like it.
Yep.
Generic single weapon slot, 9 points. I feel like we've seen that before as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, Valdor class. We get a reprint of the IRW Valdor at 27 points, and I'm excited. I liked the Valdor back in Wave 0, the first few months, Dominion War OP, back in, what was that, 2014?
Yes.
I think the game came out in 2014. My memory is failing me. But
So it's 2013, 2014.
2013. Anyway, when the game first came out, I loved the Valdor. Cool ship, cool maneuver dial, and nice ability. When attacking, if you did a green maneuver, you roll an extra attack die. What it was missing? Cheaper points. And I like it. I like what this has now. 27 feels a whole lot nicer than the 30 that they wanted for it. So,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm happy.
Now you can put so much more on it.
Yes. And before we move off of that, I'm trying to remember the original Valdor. That was it. The original Valdor was double crew, double weapon. And now this Valdor is double crew, weapon tech.
Ooh.
That was the other thing. It didn't have a tech slot. And Romulan without tech slot was almost pointless. So the fact that the Valdor now has a tech slot is a big difference.
Good point.
Yes. So aside from this being cheaper, it is now a better layout. I would still love double tech, but you can't get all things.
True.
So yeah, that's my new love affair with the new IRW Valdor. The other Valdor class we get is the IRW Soteris.
Yep.
Yeah, you can probably say it both ways. It is a crew weapon double tech, which I probably like better, just in terms of slots. Reveal dial step. If this ship reveals a 3-speed maneuver, you may change your maneuver to any maneuver of the same speed on this ship's dial. Now, probably important to look at the Valdor dial, and it does have 3 straight, 3 bank, 3 turns, which are red, and a 3 come about, which is also red. So this is not like, oh, you did a straight, now you can do a bank. This is, you can change into a come about if you really wanted to. You can change into a turn. So I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's at least playable.
Yeah, it's maneuverability.
Yeah. And it continues a theme we saw in Ships of the Line, the new Federation pack, where we might be getting back to a maneuvering game.
Yeah. I like the Solders. I will say that these 2 Valdor classes are the cheapest named Valdor classes that we get. Or that we have, and that is including the 2017 Romulan faction pack that they got recosted.
Right, because we got the Saran, which was at 28.
Yep.
But that had a nice do extra maneuver thing, so.
Yeah.
I understand that being a little more expensive. But yeah. All right, Shinzon. And not just Captain Shinzon, which, again, we saw most of Captain Shinzon in the little preview image. Skill 9, double talent slot, 6 points. Add the battle station action to this ship's action bar. Free action. If this ship is cloaked, perform an action on this ship's action bar as a free action. Put them on a Riemann warbird. You can cloak, you can echo, you can target lock, you can evade, or you can battle station for free.
Is Picard 9 light? Picard 9 adjacent.
I'd say he's different because he does get double talent slots.
Different in that case, yes. His ability alone really reminds me of that, and I think it was made in a smart way.
Yeah, it was. It was made in a very smart way. But I'm even more excited about the Admiral. Mm-hmm. Because the Admiral, first off, gives you 2 skill, only gives you 1 talent. Which is, I think this might be the first time the Admiral and Captain sides have different amounts of talents.
Oh, true. Didn't notice that at first either.
But the Admiral adds the battle station action to this ship's action bar. That alone, if that was the only ability on here, I would not pay 6 points. But I would have still paid for it.
Yeah.
The fleet action. Remove all time tokens and or disable tokens from a weapon upgrade equipped to this ship. Then you may perform an action on U action bar as a free action. On U action bar.
On U action.
Sounds like a pirate. I
mean, typos aside.
Yes. No, it's a pretty good ability. I mean, it's a free action.
Yep.
And I think it has some good use. Romulans have decent secondary weapons. Not like Federation, but, I mean, bring Ferengi photon torpedoes. It doesn't say it's got to be a Romulan weapon. Now you only need 1 copy of it.
Yep.
So, Still probably not the way you want to go about it, but the fact that you get battle stations makes this worthwhile.
Yeah, and Romulans desperately needed the battle stations.
And I would say Romulans desperately needed another good admiral option because Sela was not the answer they were looking for. It was occasionally the answer, but not always.
This is probably one of the best Romulan admirals I've seen. And quite honestly, this whole faction needed a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, what are... Oh, Aladar Jarok's okay. Mendak isn't bad. You get a battle station.
Yeah, I typically forget about him. Sela's really the only one that I've really looked at with building.
Sharvanak.
Ellis, probably breaking his heart. I don't really touch Romulans too much.
Yeah.
This pack's going to change that for me.
I agreed. Sharvanak's also a good admiral. If your ship has the cloak, you get to place a cloak, then get an additional free action.
Yeah, I like to pair her with Laris.
Yes. So Sharvanak's probably the best of the Romulan admirals. Shinzon now has competition. It's going to depend on how you want to go about building your fleet.
Yeah, I mean he's expensive for the +2. But
yes.
If you got a weapon that's disabled and you've got a time token weapon that you just used and you need a refresh, perfect time to use it.
I think Shinzon as an admiral is one of those you want to find a way to discard your captain so that Shinzon can become the new captain. At some point.
Okay.
Just because his captain ability is so good. But you're happy to have him as an admiral to run that weapon negation for a while. Or weapon, refresh. Yep. But you're also okay having a plan to sack your captain and Shinzon to take over.
I guess if your meta is super heavy with Gold Madrid right now, you can run Shinzon as the admiral. I think that's the backup plan.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
All right. Dinatra. New Dinatra. I'm happy for new Dinatra. Skill 6, 4 points. When a friendly ship within range 1 is attacking, that friendly ship may roll +1 attack die. And that's where Dinatra stopped last time.
Yep.
If that friendly ship is either a Valdor or Sovereign class, it may also convert a blank into a hit.
Love it.
I love it too. Dinatra was good. Dinatra had fallen a bit out of favor, but still relatively good. The fact that she does just a tiny bit extra, why not? And it's super thematic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love that it's handshaking with ships of the line.
Yep.
There's a connection between the two.
Right, and it doesn't have to be the Valdor, the Enterprise E. It's not these named ships. It's just the classes.
Yep.
But it's the theme, and you want that synergy. Now, I don't know how well that works in competitive play. Probably not all that well, but it's out there. It's certainly mission playable, and Dinatra brings a little bit more to the table. And now I'm just going to sleeve this version of Dinatra right over the old one and say I never need the old one.
Yeah.
Same thing with my Valdor. But
now, just looking at this. Okay, so the old Dinatra says ships, where this one says ship.
Oh.
That's something I didn't notice right away.
When a friendly ship within range 1 is attacking. A friendly ship. That ship. Okay, the grammar side of me, and granted, I'm a math teacher, not an English teacher. The grammar side of me does say when a friendly ship. So that's a conditional statement. It's if you're friendly and within range 1, then do that thing. It's not a
Okay.
limiting clause. It's not saying only one. It's not a target a ship.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That makes sense in my brain.
But I also understand how somebody can make that argument.
Yeah.
I try to bring logic, not logical. Or when I say logic, I mean like philosophical logic, mathematical logic, proof logic
Yeah.
arguments to how that's worded. But
No, that makes sense. That it would be when a friendly ship is targeting. Now they're looking around themselves to
yes,
find these abilities hanging out there. That makes sense to me.
yeah. So no, but I get it, and why change the wording when it's not broken?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's go to Koval. Koval is a skill 5 captain with a talent slot, costs 3 points. When attacking, declare target step if you're cloaked. Place 2 time tokens on a crew upgrade equipped to the defending ship. I like that.
Yeah.
No defensive conditions at all. Just, you don't get your crew for a minute.
Yeah. He can counter some things. Passive dice quality cards.
Yep.
Thinking about if you've got like cloaking wharf.
Yep.
The convert all blank wharf on a ship that's. I think the only thing that really holds Kaval back is his lower captain skill.
Yes.
Because you generally find those kind of cards on
High skill.
high skill. But the one thing that I did kind of think of when I was studying this card earlier, he's a really good counter for those captain boosting skill cards.
Oh, yeah.
Riker, Worf. You hit them in the attacking step, and then the next round, because they have the time token on it still, they lose that skill boost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way to kind of combat the high skill captain game that's happening right now.
You can also run Admiral Nechayev to get Koval up to 8.
Yeah.
That can help. Or you can use Koval, ignore the fact that they've already shot first, and now just go after defensive quality, punch through stuff.
That's true.
Disable put time tokens on a Hood Riker.
Yep.
For instance.
That's a good
point. It's other options. I like what you're saying because it's going to work for 2 rounds. Go after stuff to make them not be as effective in their next round.
Yep.
So I think there's some really good options with Koval. I want to play around with him even more, but I like what he potentially brings. I do want to boost his captain skill, though.
If people are wondering where he's from, he is from DS9.
Mm-hmm.
It is the episode where Bashir and Ross go to Romulus for the summit, and Section 31 shenanigans in tow.
Ah.
So Koval is the leader of the Tal Shiar.
Makes sense. All right, Captain Raskar. Now, he was the leader of the Romulans who took over the Prometheus.
Yes.
You do not pay a faction penalty when equipping this card or any Romulan crew upgrades to this Federation ship. You don't have to take over Prometheus. You can take over any Federation ship, which is kind of fun.
Is that how you make a captured card without making a captured card?
Yes. You make a capturing captain.
Yeah. Again, really smart on how they did that. I'm a fan.
I mean, personally, I still would have loved to have seen a Romulan version of the Prometheus. But
yeah.
I can live with this. I just would have loved to have seen captured versions of ships. Anyway, we digress. When attacking with a weapon upgrade, you may reroll up to 2 blanks. If that upgrade is non-Romulan weapon, roll +1 attack die. I want to run Ferengi torpedoes with him so badly.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, you were like made for this.
torpedoes, fed torpedoes, multi-vector assault mode.
Yeah, I want to just like
Right.
he's my new favorite captain for Prometheus.
Yes.
With the construction upgrade, making everything cheaper and multi-vector assault mode and re-rolling now rolling 5 attack dice 3 times and ooh.
Yes.
Ellis, I'm sorry, your Romulan captain is more useful on non-Romulan stuff. But I think that's what he's made for.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that was completely taken into account. Showing off the thematicism that they have,
Yeah.
but also leaving the card open-ended for other Federation ships.
Uh-huh.
Again, really smart on how this card is worded in my view.
I'm with you 100% there. All right, and our last captain here is Lovok. Skill 5, talent slot, 3 points. When attacking, place a Ox Power token beside the ship. Reroll each of your blanks if equipped to a Diderodix. You may also add 1 hit. I'm not loving it, but I'm not hating it.
Yeah, it's not a terrible captain.
No, I think he's middle of the road, skill 5, does a thing. I mean, an Ox to re-roll is useful. You get to use it on weapon upgrades. You know, secondary weapon shots, not just primary. Like, I would love to find some way to make him work with photonic cannon. And maybe that's not the worst thing to do with him.
No, I like that.
I don't think it's the best thing.
Essentially, he's a target lock. You pay an Ox.
Right, but since photonic cannon already requires a target lock,
and you have to spend it with fire. Yeah.
I like
so
it. You don't benefit from being on the Diderodix, so you don't get an extra hit. But at least you get a reroll. Hopefully, you find a way to get a battle station in there for the quality.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of wish that his text was a little more thematic to who he is, but that's okay. He's the captain from the episode in DS9 where the Cardassian Romulan fleet go to attack the Founder homeworld.
Oh, yeah.
And he turned out to be a Founder. So, having something that would have been Dominion or pro-Dominion flavored would have been cool, but...
Or also having a Dominion version of him.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good, too.
Wouldn't it have?
Yeah. There's still time.
There is. You know, we need, like, the Martok Founder, Bashir Founder, Lovok Founder cards.
Miles O'Brien Founder.
Oh, yeah.
Happened for a minute.
All right. Crew, Varric. Varrock? Nah, it's Varric. Yeah, Romulans don't like their long A's. 3 points for this crew. Add 1 crew upgrade to the ship's upgrade bar. I like... these are called cantrips, things that replace themselves. Mm-hmm. I learned a fancy vocab word. Action. Place 2 time tokens on this card and target this ship or a friendly ship within range 1 to 2. Continuous effect. The captain and other crew upgrades equipped to the target ship cannot be affected by opposing cards.
Or protection.
So, my question with this is, if I do this action multiple times, can I protect multiple ships? Or is it, once I do it a second time, that changes the ship that's protected from the ship that was protected to the new ship that I've targeted?
Yeah, I think the question needs to be asked, when does the continuous effect end?
Yeah.
Which is, a weird statement to say because it's a continuous effect, but does it end after the time tokens are gone? Or does it just go until you do the action again? I'm assuming that there's going to be a token that goes with him too, and maybe it's relying on where the token is.
Possibly.
Let me check the scan.
That all being said, I like what Varric does. I like the ability. Um, my concern is that it's too good to bring this bubble of protection that just says nope. You can't mess with this at all.
Yeah,
And
it's part of that protection from the ganking fleets that we've seen. Gold Madrid, Gold Madrid really second of 5.
right, right, and I understand that protection needs to happen, I, and that's where whatever comes back with whatever the ruling comes back with how long this lasts, that's going to be very defining on how good Varric is. Varrock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Because if it is this forever effect, um, that's going to worry me.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, let's move on to B4. Now B4 is Romulan and independent, costs 5 points. Action: disable this card and target an opposing ship within range 2 to 3. The target ship either executes a 1 straight or bank maneuver of the opponent's choice. If the target is also a Federation ship, it rolls 1 less attack die this game round. If the target ship also has Enterprise in its name, place 2 time tokens on the captain equipped to that ship. Very lore specific.
Yeah.
Which, saying that statement reminds me that we need a lore card in this game.
An updated lore?
We do have one. That's right. He came on the soon. A crew lore that messes with things kind of like this. Yes. Kind of like B4 does.
Yep.
I find this card interesting, thematic, and I don't know that I find it good.
I think it was always going to be hard to make B4 good. But I mean, I tried my hand at making it good, and it is hard. Breaking the text down, there's 3 parts to this card.
Yeah.
The movement control is good.
It is.
Because now your opponent could be lined up for a perfect shot on you, and B4 could mess that all up.
You could potentially fly them off the board.
Yeah, that's a good point too. If the target ship's a Federation ship, it rolls 1 less attack dice. Okay.
Sure, that can help.
Yeah, and the more thematic part is the Enterprise part, where it puts 2 time tokens on a captain.
Yeah.
That's good too.
It is. All these things are meant to keep you alive.
Yeah. It seems like it's three abilities are kind of meshed together and kind of forced to work in concert.
Yeah. I just don't know if the notes make a chord or complete discord. And I guess I will have to see it all come together.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested to see somebody fit him into a fleet and see exactly what that build is looking like.
Yeah. I do think B4 has very good use in missions where you know that your opponent has to run an Enterprise.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know what's coming. You know that ship's going to be Federation. You know it's going to have the name Enterprise. So you go, oh, I'll bring B4 where I know I'm going to get the full effect of the counterplay.
Yeah, and that's a very good point too. It's not Enterprise E, it is Enterprise. It's any of them. I mean, if we're going to be, if we're going to split hairs, ISS Enterprise falls into that category.
Yep.
That's the only, any of the Mirror Universe Enterprises, Enterprise Ds that we have.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's any more. Yeah. The Kelvin Enterprise, the NX Enterprise.
Yeah.
As Scotty would say, no bloody NX, A, B, C, D, E, ISS.
Yeah, so he targets a wider range, the whole the whole rainbow of Enterprise.
Yes. And hopefully someday the mirror NX.
Yeah,
Still hoping.
someday.
Someday. But yeah, I think mission playable for sure. Who knows about more? All right. Viceroy as a crew. That's kind of a nice change. We have a captain version of him. Planning phase. If your ship is cloaked, target an opposing ship at range 1 to 2, or within range 1 to 2. Place 2 time tokens on a crew upgrade equipped to the target ship. If equipped to a Riemann warbird, you may perform a sensor echo action as a free action. So all that for 3 points. I think it's okay. Planning phase is a nice time to put time tokens on stuff.
Yes. With that, I know I said it with Koval, but Viceroy fits this bill better than Koval does, and that is to put time tokens on Riker and Worf, the skill boosting cards.
Yes.
Because now they're planning their ships at this specific captain skill, because it gets locked in at the start of that phase. Going into activation phase, now their skills dropped because now you got time tokens that blank those cards out.
Okay, yeah.
So now they're moving out of turn. You know, they're not moving where they expected to be moving, or when they expected to move.
Which is helpful.
Yeah.
Helpful to you, not helpful to them.
Right. Again, just an overall theme of trying to help give some kind of counters out there to the metas that are popping up. The high captain skills and the unlimited gold Madreds that we have right now.
Mm-hmm. And this gives you a reason to stay cloaked, because this only works if you've kept your cloak from the last round.
Yes.
And there's no downside to Viceroy. There's no time token on Viceroy, no disable. This just works if you're cloaked.
So. Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to put him on a Scimitar or on a Riemann warbird. That's just the cherry on top.
Yeah. And you'd say, oh, I don't need to sensor echo. Okay, fine. Then put him on a scout vessel or a science vessel with Dinatra, where you don't ever want to take a shot. Unless you're Joseph van der Yaden doing it to win the game or something.
All right, I was just thinking of a Romulan scout vessel with the new Hirogen tractor being Viceroy. Just things to really make your day a bad day.
To be pesky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you're becoming a target. But that's okay if they're taking that out and not your capital ships. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Riemann helmsman. This is 1 per ship. 2 points if not on a Romulan ship. 2 extra points. Reveal dial step. Disable this card. Disregard your revealed maneuver and perform a 1 reverse maneuver instead. If equipped to a Dideradix, treat this as a white maneuver instead. Seems interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know why a Riemann helmsman is boosting a Dideradix, but and not the Riemann warbird. But
that's a good point.
I like it.
Yeah, isn't it kind of close to the Romulan helmsman, just a little flavored a little bit differently?
Yes, Romulan helmsman goes forward.
Oh, does it?
I believe. Helmsman. Romulan helmsman. Romulan helmsman, during the activation phase, if you reveal a red maneuver, you may disable this card to treat that maneuver as if it were white.
It's not exactly what I was thinking.
No, because this says you get to not move and do a 1 backup. So you could have had a 5 forward planned and gone, oh, wait, no. I want to go backwards instead.
Yeah, that's going to get me in trouble. I need to bail.
Yeah. I like those flexibility cards. I don't love them, but I like them. I think there's potential there.
Yeah, at a 2 cost, that's cost efficient, I
It
think,
is.
for what it is.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's look at Tyrul. Tyrul originally came on the DS9 crew pack, which is basically impossible to get these days. And Tyrul was probably the best card in that pack. So it's nice to see her reprinted. 2-point crew. You may equip the Romulan cloaking device upgrade to this ship for 0 points, even if it exceeds restrictions. Whenever you would perform the cloak action, place an evade token beside the ship. If equipped to a Defiant class, you may place a battle station token instead. It's like she was made to put the Romulan cloaking device on the Defiant.
Yes. Yep. And the ships in the line, we kind of hinted on that.
Yes.
There's a card in there that benefits all of that.
Uh-huh. So, I brought up the Romulan cloaking device because it only makes sense to talk about Romulan cloaking device with talking about Tyrul.
Okay.
So, Romulan cloaking device is 1 per ship. It costs 2 extra points if you don't put it on a Romulan ship, unless you're Tyrul and ignoring restrictions and making it cost 0. Add the cloak action to this ship's action bar. Note that's just cloak, not sensor echo. This ship may use either the 1 bank or 2 bank template when performing a sensor echo action instead. I have been preaching, wanting, harping on this for years.
Yes. This is the cloaking device we all wanted and needed.
Yes. And I'm glad it's Romulan, because Romulans were the original inventors of cloaking and Klingons stole it.
Yep.
And the last part of this, if equipped to a Romulan ship, this ship may perform the cloak action as a free action, which is just the icing on the cake.
Sensor echo.
It's great. And you do get 2 copies of this in the pack.
Yes.
So don't feel like, wait, there's only 1. You gotta run out and buy 7 of these? No, you do get 2 of them. So make your judgments on how many you need based on 2 in the pack, not 1. I love Romulan cloaking device. I think it's fantastic. You probably go ahead.
Compared with Tyrul, you're going to put cloaking device on any ship.
Yes.
Any ship. And you want to put it on the Kelvin Constitution, for example, one of the best chassis in the game.
Yeah.
You've got yourself a pretty scary Constitution ship flying around that you can't see.
Yeah. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best cloaking device in the game.
Yes. Klingon cloaking device is great, and I never leave home without one. But Romulan cloaking device outweighs that by far now. By far.
Borg were nerfed because of how unpredictable they were. This card should not be nerfed because you have to pay for it, at least. But this makes you highly unpredictable. A 1 bank, a 2 bank in any direction, because you can bank up or you can bank down. And you can do that from the front or the back. You got some good choices with where you're going to end up.
Yep, Romulans needed something like this. They needed it, like you said.
The game needed something like this.
Fair enough. I'm glad that they gave it to the Romulans.
Yes, cheaply. Yeah, now putting this on a bunch of ships that aren't Romulan, that's going to get expensive. Fleet-wise.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because Tyrul lets you get 1 there for cheap, but the next one's going to cost you 5. I think.
Oh yeah, because you got to count the faction penalty coming in.
Right, it's 2 extra plus the faction penalty, so that's 5. And that's a good chunk of change when you're building your fleet.
Yeah. still, it's something I would consider.
I would consider it. Also, there's nothing that says you can't run the Romulan cloaking device and the Klingon cloaking device together.
Hey, good. You're not wrong.
Um, I'm not sure you want to, but
Have a card like Tomalak that gives you rerolls for tech that you have on.
yeah,
Run both.
yeah. So, I, anyway, to rule Romulan cloaking device, solid additions in this pack.
Yes.
Really like it. All right, our last crew is Navala. And Navala does what we've been talking about trying to disable. Increase the captain skill of the captain equipped to this ship by 1, by 3 for a Romulan captain instead. But wait, there's more! When defending, spin an evade token beside the ship. Place a battle station token beside the ship.
She is perfect for your lower skilled captains.
Yep, absolutely.
Who don't attack first, but defend first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're getting attacked, and then now they spend their evade token, and now they got this battle station token that they can spend when they attack.
And you can either use that battle station defensively or use it offensively. You have the choice there. Because if you're cloaked, the odds are you're going to roll more than one battle station. So you've made a positive change towards living, or you save that battle station for offense and you've got to win anyways.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a great addition, great card to have.
Yes. Yep. I don't think the Romulans had a +3 skill booster before.
They did not.
So much needed for them.
Yeah, Feds, Klingons,
Borg.
I don't think into Ferengi might have.
I don't believe so.
No, okay. Then that's all that had it, as far as I remember. All right, talents. Covert research has to be equipped to a Romulan captain. Add the scan action to the ship's action bar. There we go. We were talking about how to get scan on stuff. In phase, place a scan token from beside the ship onto this card, max of 3. Action, remove any number of scan tokens on this card. Gain +1 attack die for each scan removed this game round. So you can get up to 3 bonus attack dice just by saving your scan tokens.
Yeah, because you don't spend them. You have them at the end phase. I mean, there are multiple uses I can see this card for.
Mm-hmm.
It's only locked to a Romulan captain, so you can take it cross-faction on other ships.
Yep.
Or no, yeah, captain, square box, captain.
Yes.
You can put it on a Romulan. You got yourself a little scout ship that's doing mine laying or whatever. You don't know what other actions to do. You can do scans and save it up, and then use this to have a 4 dice attack.
Yeah, with target lock, it's not bad.
Yeah. 3. I mean, this is a talent that I can see being used by the Romulans.
I agree, because they want to scan.
Yep.
And again, I like that it adds scan to the action bar, because now for sure they can scan if they get in range of a cloaked mine.
True.
There's no doubt that they have the ability to do a scan action.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm with you. Solid talent. You build up those scan tokens early. You play a very slow, plodding march to the center. You have your scans ready to go, and you bring them in, and you get a really good shot. And it's there. All right, the other talent for 2 points and ship unique when it is outflank. Whenever you would perform an echo action, if this ship is cloaked, discard this card, place a battle station and an evade token beside your ship. I don't love discard talents, but for 2 points and getting 2 tokens, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think it pays for itself because you're doing whenever. Yeah, you're pretty much doing 3 actions at that point.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean pair it with Navala, and that evade becomes a second battle station token, and now you've got an offensive and a defensive battle station.
True.
Or two defensive battle stations if you're really getting shot. But you would hope with an Echo you're not going to get shot twice.
Yeah,
Hope. Hope is the key word.
hope is the key word.
But,
Um,
for a 2 point card, I think it's viable.
yep, and we do get 2 of them in this pack.
Ah. Well, that's nice. Yes. I even have it there a second time. Which brings us to Fire Everything!
Everything.
Which is different than Fire at Will. Poor Riker. All right. Romulan Captain, Romulan ship, totally unique talent for 4 points. When attacking, if you don't know damage or your attack was canceled. Fun. Fun wording there. Disable this card. You may perform an additional attack with a Romulan weapon upgrade equipped to the ship against the same target. To which I go, mwaha, mwahaha.
Yes.
So really the idea there is to do a primary weapon attack, do no damage, and then hit them with something big.
Yeah. Important to note that this is not a discard.
It is
This
not.
is a disable.
Yeah.
So if you've got an opponent that's running multiple attack cancellations, this is a good card to have.
It is.
We needed more things in the game that had that specific wording,
Yes.
and this is a step in the right direction for this.
It is. Absolutely it is. So.
And I think with that it ends. That's all 3 talents that come in this pack. And for once, I'm going to say that the Romulans have good talents now.
Ugh. Boy, that's something. Boy, Optronic Data Core works. Romulans have good talents. What's next?
Oh, this is a good world we're in.
What, the Kazon are going to be viable now?
Oh, no, you know what's next? The next card that's on this list.
Ooh. The Thaleron weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Thaleron weapon. Oh, okay, 6 dice. Range 1 to 3. Riemann Warbird only. Forward arc only. Unique 5 points. Attack, discard this card. Target an opposing ship. Your opponent must discard either their captain, admiral, ambassador, or a crew upgrade equipped to the defending ship. Period. So no matter what happens, you're losing somebody.
Yes.
If you hit, cancel 1 crit to discard either the defending ship's captain, admiral, ambassador, or crew upgrade equipped to the defending ship.
That one. So the first one is their choice. The
Second
one
one
sounds like it's your choice.
I would agree. Yeah.
To me, that's kind of cool. This is a much better Thaleron weapon than we had before.
Yes.
It's less muddy. It's range 1 to 3.
Which is also nice.
Yes. It's a six dice attack. You can boost that. Chances are you'll get a crit if you boost it up to a 9.
Yeah.
At some point, you'll get a crit. So, there are things you can do. One of the first things I thought of, and I'm kind of laying my cards out on the table, but saying this is maybe using an OMAG, and then having Admiral Shinzon re-enable it to use it the next round.
Okay.
That way you get 2 shots out of Thaleron weapon before you discard it. Because OMAG discards himself and disables the weapon.
Okay.
To fire it from whatever ship he's on. It's expensive.
Very.
But it's interesting. I recently ran a fleet in one of the tournaments where I had OMAG reaching back and grabbing Disruptor Bombardment from a Gorn Raider
Ah.
to throw out in front of them. So it's an expensive combo, but it works well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like the Thaleron weapon. I find I like powerful things that hit hard and do messy stuff. So and this
Yes.
does messy stuff, regardless of what happens.
Yep,
So
that's true.
I like that. All right. I went a tiny bit out of order. So my next card here is Flanking Attack. This
Okay.
is a 3-point weapon, Romulan ship, forward arc only. The attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary attack value. Attack, place 3 time tokens on this card and target an opposing ship. If it's equipped to a Valdor class, the ship rolls +2 attack dice. So now we're up to, what, 7? 6?
Yes. Yep.
Valdors
6.
are 4.
4.
So yeah, 6. So we're up to 6. Okay. Uh, if this ship is not in the forward firing arc of the defending ship also rolls -2 defense dice. That's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. For 3 points, I like what this does. I basically only want to run it on a Valdor class. But
Yeah, I think that's the only place I see this really having a spot. I mean, you could try and run it on a Riemann Warbird, but
I mean, okay, so there you're getting 6 dice already.
yeah.
I think you need Romulan cloaking device to really make it work, so you can have that flexibility with arcs.
Yep, my thoughts exactly.
Yeah. So, but I think that's a natural put it together, and you got some good stuff working for you.
Yeah.
All right, Aft Disruptor Emitters. These are ship unique. Another weapon for 2 points, 3 dice. Attack, place 2 time tokens on this card. Target an opposing ship not in your forward firing arc, and you get to shoot them at range 1 to 3. Solid card.
Yes.
We've seen the idea before.
Yep, I think Joseph ran this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Or a version of this quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it definitely gets some play.
It does. And I like
range
it.
1 to 3. It's good.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we have Disruptor Pulse. I think we've seen something like this before, at least. It is a 3-point weapon. For 3 dice, attack, place 2 time tokens on this card. To perform this attack, declare target step, target each opposing ship in your forward firing arc and in range 1 to 2. Perform a separate attack against each target with this attack. 3 dice isn't going to be super scary, but I can see it has potential.
Yeah. If you can pair this with the talent, the covert research talent.
Yeah.
If you build your scans, then you get 3 attack. I think that was in the round, so you get 3 attack dice each time, +3. Yeah, game +1 attack die for each scan token removed this game round. So you could increase it up to a 6.
Or is this round a total thing? Is it 3 dice for the total round? Or 3 dice total for the round? I forget how that goes.
But not 100% sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I think there's potential here. If you have a way of lowering defenses, you definitely want a scan token out to lower ship defenses if you're going to make these multiple attacks.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Torpedo Fusillade.
Yes, but not as powerful.
Not as powerful. This one is a time token versus a discard, a remove from game.
Yeah.
So this is range 1 to 2, but still it's that it's attacking more than one target.
Mm-hmm. So it has I think it has a place. but I don't know. Again, it's going to depend on your meta, how many people you have running swarms. You have a lot of swarms, this will come in handy. If you don't, it won't.
Yeah. You know, with +3 for non-Romulan, I don't think it's going on anything other than Romulan.
No, not at all.
I don't see you paying 6 for 3 dice. Yeah. Oh, also important to note about Aft Disruptor Emitters. That is another card that we get 2 of in the pack.
Yeah.
So there are 2 of them. Back to Disruptor Calls. Good card, like you said. It'll find a place. Romulans will love it.
Yeah. All right, the tech. Improved cloaking. This is our Riemann warbird only. Whenever this ship would perform the cloak action, you only have to disable 1 of your active shields to cloak. For 3 points? I think that's worth it.
Yeah, it gives you a little extra durability.
Fair bit of extra durability. But yeah.
Well, because the Riemann warbird itself has 2 shields?
4 on the Scimitar, 3 on the generic.
Okay, so 2 extra on the generic that you can burn through when defending.
Yeah.
3 extra on the Scimitar. Yeah, that's great.
It keeps you around.
Yeah. And that's all the difference.
Yeah.
I will say that when this card was previewed, you know, the 1 per chip and the Riemann locking was blocked. So I was worried that, you know, that wasn't going to be locked or faction locked.
Oh, yeah.
So it concerned me that way, but I'm glad to see that it is locked.
Yeah,
you know,
there's
a way to, you know, you put the Romulan cloaking device on a ship that you just beefed, like a Sutherland where you just beefed the shields up. You put improved cloaking device on it if it wasn't locked.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, so I'm glad that those locks are there. Again, it's just kudos to the playtesters for that.
Yeah. All right, the other cloaking is advanced cloaking. 4 points for this. When attacking, if this ship is cloaked and does not have an Ox Power token beside it, place an Ox Power token beside the ship. This ship's cloak token does not flip to its red side this attack. So that'll help with Viceroy. Helps just keep you cloaked. Keep your defenses up. Saves you an action later. Seems a little expensive for 4, though. Or a little expensive at 4.
This is one of those cards that's getting updated.
Yes. It really does feel like an update card. Let me confirm that.
Yep, there's a previous advanced cloaking that's run now.
Yep.
With the
exactly the same. And I think I said exactly the same thing when I did a Get the Cheese to Sickbay. I said, it's really good effect, just a little expensive.
Yeah.
Because I love the effect. You know, an Ox Power, save my cloak. Great, fine.
Yeah, that's a great trade-off.
I just don't want to pay 4 points for it. I'm selfish that way.
Yeah, 3, 2 at the minimum, I can see. 4 is a little high.
I mean, because I can cancel an attack with an interface generator, suffer 1 damage for 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the context we're working with. So, and it's a tech. So are you telling me that keeping my cloak is more valuable than canceling an attack and suffering 1 damage?
True.
I don't buy it.
Good point. Good point.
I just don't buy it. And I have to be cloaked with an interface generator. So, seems fairly similar, and I don't buy the pricing here. But that's the only bad thing I have to say. I'll move on. Romulan Ale.
Hey.
Heyo. 1 point. Question mark upgrade. 1 per ship. This upgrade may may be equipped to a ship without requiring an upgrade slot. Ooh, even more fun. Planning phase. You may exchange all disabled tokens from the captain and crew upgrades equipped to the ship with 2 time tokens on those cards instead. Activation phase. Place 3 time tokens on this card. Continuous effect. This ship and each opposing ship attacking this ship must convert 1 hit into 1 blank. So we're all getting sloshed, and ergo our hits aren't as accurate.
Yep. And you know who likes drinking Romulan ale?
Worf.
Oh, Ezri Dax in this case.
Oh, okay.
Well, you exchange all those.
Right. She only puts 1 on. Yeah.
She'll only put 1 on, so you get everybody back the next turn.
You're right. Sorry, I was thinking Worf because doesn't he convert blanks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he converts the blank back to a hit.
Yep. So that's one way around Romulan ale.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just pounding him back. Just her.
Wait, didn't he in Nemesis? Isn't that what he was drinking?
Romulan ale should be illegal. It is more illegal.
Perfect.
Yeah, at the wedding.
Yeah, we're getting all these ales and Pinar. It's kind of sad that we got the Blood Oath pack and we didn't get Blood Wine.
It is. Yeah.
I'm sure the Klingons will get another pack here at some point.
I'm ready for the mixed faction pack where we can just kind of clean up all that stuff. But
oh yeah.
All right. So conspicuously, question mark upgrade card 38 out of 40. So that's got to leave one thing and only one thing left. Ambassadors. They're back. We have It's a Fake and the Senator. I forget why Senator Kretak is actually important, but
she was in the episode where Ross and Bashir went to Romulus.
Ah, okay.
Section 31 shenanigans.
Yeah. All right. Vreenak. If you decide to accept Vreenak's negotiations, you discard an upgrade of the opponent's choice equipped to this ship, and an upgrade of your choice equipped to the target ship. Well, that seems fun if you just put Vreenak on a ship with, say, Dinatra, and there are no upgrades.
Yeah.
Also seems a bit cheap, but, they never said you have to be able to fulfill the condition.
Right, yeah.
If you deny these negotiations, then all Romulan ships, friendly and opposing, gain +1 attack die when attacking with Romulan weapon upgrades and their primary weapon for the rest of the game. That seems rather good.
Yeah, I feel like that makes you have to stop and think about your choice.
It does.
Do I want to lose something, or do I want to empower them?
Yeah. Vreenak's a pain.
Pain in a good way. That's a good ambassador.
That's a very good ambassador. All right, Kamara Kretak, or Senator Kretak, as we shall call her. If you accept her negotiations, this ship and the target ship gain the following free action. If this ship is within range 1 of an obstacle, repair either one hole... Does that say of? That says repair either one hole of shield on this ship. I guess F and R are right next to each other on a keyboard. So, repair either one hole or shield on this ship. I mean, that seems nice. I'd probably accept those negotiations. I'm okay with you repairing. I get to repair. Life's okay.
Yeah.
If you instead decide to deny the negotiations, all Romulan ships, friendly and opposing, gain the following for the rest of the game. End phase. If within range 1 of an obstacle, remove 1 time token from each weapon upgrade equipped to this ship.
So
Again, probably depends on how many Romulan ships I'm running. But I'm probably not I'm more likely to accept those negotiations than deny them.
Yeah, because for a free action, you're getting basically a regenerate without the no attack clause.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think Vreenak is definitely the stronger ambassador. The one I have to think more about, depending on what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
Kretak seems a little more straightforward. But knowing that Kretak's straightforward, you can build a ship such that you want to take damage and then repair that damage.
Yeah.
So I think there's actually a lot going on with that.
I agree. I think both of these ambassadors are really good.
Yes.
And they both make you stop and think before you choose. Because they both have good and bad sides to both accepted or denied.
Yeah. And it's very strong to have these ambassadors in the game. Plus, very thematic, and I'm glad we have these two. Even though I may not remember Kretak's appearance, I do remember the name, and everyone knows Vreenak.
Oh, yeah.
Non-Star Trek fans know Vreenak. I am putting up the missions. We're not going to review the missions, but I'm putting them on screen so that people can at least see them. Pause if you feel like. The Crossing the Rubicon seems really fun. Actually wanted...
The human from Remus is that Tales of the Dominion War story.
Okay.
That's pretty much what this is.
And like I've said, I actually want to get in and play missions and record some of those for the channel. It's on the back burner. I don't have the time that I want to, but I will say, if you're interested in playing some missions against me, and you would be interested enough in doing the work of building the fleets and just letting me come on and play stuff and record, please contact me, reach out, because I'd love to do that. Even if you don't want to do that, but you're willing to like play the missions and record them and put them on the channel, I'm happy to do that too. So,
one thing I do want to add to the missions real quick, and it's kind of a new thing that's happened with the past couple of faction packs, is the playtesters have added a section to the missions on how to up or change the game difficulty.
Yes, I noticed that.
So that's a cool little thing that's in there, because if you find a mission too easy, you can just change the difficulty and change the way that the mission feels.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, overall thoughts. I think that the Romulans got a lot of good help here.
I think the Romulans got a lot of love.
I find it interesting that maybe some of my favorite cards, Torul, Romulan Cloaking Device, Raskar, are cards that help outside of the faction.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, Shinzon is amazing. The new ships are great. Twilight's Wrath is just super cool. That's a Dideradix that's amazing. The Scimitar is nice and cheap. It's a lot cheaper than it was. And generic warbirds, that's going to put them right back as a force in this game.
Yep, that's true. Overall, this is a solid outing. I think things were thought out very carefully with this, and I think they listened to the community, especially those who really love their Romulans, and they gave them exactly what the Romulans needed.
Yeah.
There are some cards that are questionable, like B4, but it's not a card that I would rule out not playing.
Yeah.
It's not one of those cards I'm going to put in you know, the F minus pile because it's terrible. It, it's a card that I would probably try out in a mission to see how it plays
Uh-huh.
before translating it over to competitive play if it's competitive.
Absolutely. We have questions on Varric. Um, there's a couple other cards we want to see how they work, but a lot of solid pieces here. A lot to like. I don't think you need more than one of these. Um, I think one does a really good job for everything.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you get two of a couple of important upgrades. So that's the key thing.
Yep. Um, and yeah, besides that, I think we're in a good spot. I mean, I guess if you really want to go crazy with Romulan cloaking device, that would be the only thing that drives you to get a second one.
Yeah, that's it. You want to be the madman, the mad scientist, have a bunch of different ships from all over the other factions cloaking.
Yes.
That's what you want.
So, other than that, I think you got a lot of solid pieces here, and you can make it all work.
So,
All right. Well, hey, we kept this one a lot shorter than Ships of the Line, the Federation pack. Still over an hour, so you can tell lots of goodness, but a few pieces that were maybe a little simpler to talk about. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. And Jerry, I'll give you the last word here. Anything you want to say? Plug?
um, you know, the TTS mod will be updated shortly with everything on release day, and there will be a message on the Facebook community from me on release day.
Okay. Awesome. Looking forward to that.
All right.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. And keep playing Attack Wing. Take care, everybody.